So hi everyone. Right, so if all being well, you should be watching this on Friday. So happy new moon. It isn't until just before midnight in the UK, so technically I would call it like Saturday really, but you're light, they just pulled me to when I started this. So there could be something significant about 1956, so you random message there. I'm just still the 56 or whatever it means to you. 11, that would be, so 1111. Could be stuff about awakening. Right, so I'm just going to go straight in with this, well, after my intro. So my name's Claire, welcome. This channel is about empowering you on your twin flame journey, your inner divine feminine, your inner divine masculine, as I'm staring at this card, but that's always what I say. And this is very important because this is what's happening right now. A lot of inner union taking place, like a real integration of that. Like, so just make sure that you are nurturing yourself, doing what's right for you, rather than people pleasing is what really keeps coming to me, because I always associate Libra with people pleasing, but definitely Cancer and Pisces as well. Just because like these are the signs that can be about kindness, but basically when there's a kindness, there can also be unfortunately being taken advantage of. And so do you know what I mean? They do go very closely hand in hand. And again, I know that because it's happened to me my whole life, and it still can actually happen when I don't pay close attention to it, even though I'm great at teaching other people boundaries. And most of the time I'm really good at holding my own boundaries. It's just one of the drawbacks that comes from having a big heart, you know what I mean? You've got to take care, and they just pull me to get some rest. And of course the Cancer new moon today is all about rest. So, and then they pull me that to take a media break. And yeah, so it's quite funny because I wasn't planning on filming anything today, but I was up really early and I went and got something to eat with my mum, so that was quite nice, but I'm quite tired. And they're pulling me the word rest. I might actually have a wee nap, but I'm going to try and just stay awake because then I can maybe get to sleep at a decent time tonight. But anyway, I'll go with the flow. But I did just want to film this while I was remembering. So everything I do is channeling, clearing, healing energy, meaning that the way I approach every video, they're just how excitable I am, or how chilled, or you can usually hear the mood in my voice. And because I'm a collective channel, I'm usually channeling the energy of where the collective are. Now, like I said, Cancer sun, the sun and moon being in Cancer, and Venus in Cancer as well, that is very sleepy energy, so even if I hadn't got up early, it is very sleepy energy. Like, so yeah, just be aware of that, take care. And like I said, I've just channeled the message there at 11:44, like they often make me do. Yeah, have a good greet, as we say here. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel if you haven't, like, basically, when was the last time you had a good cry? Like, I've had conversations with people in the past where they've like, oh, I haven't cried for years, and I'm like, what? Like, when somebody says that to me, I'm like, I can't even get my head around that. Do you know what I mean? So that's not healthy. So if you've not cried in years, please make space for it. You know what I mean? Like, it's very healing. It's, yeah, there's nothing wrong with crying. There's everything right with crying. Obviously, if you're waking up and crying every single day, there's probably, that's probably an indication you need to get some emotional support there, seek a healer, therapist, or somebody that's a wee mixture of all of it. Hi there, if you resonate. But you know what I'm saying, like, so just within reason, common sense and all that jazz. But yeah, having a good cry is very healthy. And as I keep repeating, and I'll keep repeating until it's over, and I'll even repeat it every Cancer moon once a month, and whenever something's aspect in a Cancer energy, or the fourth house, or the moon, Cancer's trauma. So, you know what I mean? It's a lot of release of trauma. Now, before I forget what I'm going to say, I do this every year. Oh, they're pulling my eyes down the regret card there. So the regret energy is coming in again. But that is very, and now I'm being drawn to 418, which is my birthday numbers, which is also to do with union because it adds up to the 4 of Wands. So perhaps there's regret around a union, regret around not doing something towards a union, especially because they're pulling my eyes to all I want to do is talk to you. So we'll see what that's about after. But before we get into that, and again, actually, it links with what I've said about, so, oh my god, that Falling Like a Star song, again, James Arthur's my favourite, and I love all his songs, right? I mean, very rarely will I not like one. But, I mean, even last night when I was watching Love Island, I thought, oh my god, they're going to put on that song, aren't they? And they did. They fucking did. They played the one that makes every time I heal. Every time I heal. See, that's not a Freudian slip. Somebody needs to heal. And I feel the healing is about letting it out, crying. Interesting. Every time I hear that Just Us song, it just triggers me, like triggers me as in it makes me cry every time I hear it. Because the day I heard that song, it was actually when I was going to my best pal's wedding, and it was like, it was a Cancer moon. Of course it was, when this is a Cancer new moon. It was just, depressing moon. And I usually like to just stay in my bed, never mind my house. I usually don't even leave my bed a lot of the time, on some of the time when it's a Cancer moon. So when I actually had to leave the house that day and get all dolled up, and it was the last thing I wanted to do, yeah, it wasn't the best. And yeah, basically it didn't end up the best either. But wait a minute, that matters, because is what I'm laughing. I mean, I could laugh about it now, but I couldn't for a very long time. So if you're kind of new and you're like, what's the story behind that? I technically gave up drinking quite some time ago, right? But last year I did decided to have a wee drink now and again. And that was one of the times it didn't go. The other times I did, it was absolutely fine, right? It was just like, it was no big deal. I just had like a drink, or like when I went out with my best pal on the festival, it was a brilliant time. And but that particular time it was, and that was a different friend, but like this was basically, long story short, it was because I just shouldn't go near Prosecco. So maybe somebody else needs to hear that to make themselves feel better. But no, in all serious aside, it's just because it's, Cancer moon is your emotions. Like, the moon rules Cancer, and if you're already feeling a bit emotional, which I was, it's not a good idea to drink anything. Like I said, it's really not a good idea to go out drinking. But again, that's when sometimes life throws us these curveballs, doesn't it? Where it's like, I wouldn't people please if it was a night out, but I think when it's somebody very close to you's wedding, you know what I mean? You can't really get out of that. I mean, it wouldn't be, it's just not, it's not the done thing, is it? Unless it was like absolute death's door. So, but yeah, if again, I don't like to have regrets, so that's funny I got drawn the regret card down there. Look, I'll show you what the nice. I don't, because I learned, you know what I mean? Look, my intention was not to hurt you. I'm so ashamed and embarrassed. Can't bear to look you in the eyes and tell you everything. I can't stand the thought of making you cry. Just let me build up the courage to confront us. Oh my God, I've just realised it. So anyway, yeah, the gist of that is that it's hashtag all the feels. And that's really why it was just not a good idea for me, because I just, I've done things that are related to Cancer moon, hilariously. I was either crying or I was falling asleep. So it was like, time for Claire to go home. And then I was in a dark place for quite a while because I felt like a fucking arsehole. So, yep, that's why it's not a really good time. That's not a good time to drink. So again, I'm making a bit of fun about it, but I think you can hear it really wasn't funny. It wasn't funny at all. So anyway, moving on. So that might be me being raw and vulnerable, but I always am. I've got nothing to hide there, you know what I mean? We live and learn, and my human design is absolutely about that. Like, I've got to make some fuck ups in life to come back and teach. Like, look, guys, I wouldn't do that. You do what you want. But so I think that might be quite a warning there about, this is not a good weekend to have a drink. It's more than likely going to go how I just described. Well, hopefully not as bad as what the shit that kind of happens to me, but because like I said, that isn't. That hasn't been the case. The rare times I did go back to having a wee drink there, just when I've actually felt like it, because I was in a happy place, and maybe I was places where, basically what I'm saying is, it doesn't really matter if I'm in an environment where people are drinking. Like, I've went to parties and I've been chilling in my pals' houses and that, and people have been drinking, or my family, and Christmas and the year, and I've managed to just not drink. So I can, I don't bother about any of that. It was just times where I was actually like, do you know what, I do just want a wee beer, or I do just want a wee drink, or and like I said, I've been absolutely fine. It was just that combination of the Cancer moon, the time of year it was too, it was October, we're getting into the depths of winter, and But yeah, anyway, the whole point of me saying that was that song. And I've just realised that song is very like that card. Because there is a line in that that's like, again, I can't remember all the words off the top of my head, but I'm sure there's a line in that that's something about like, well, the song's called Just Us, and he says something in it like, it's just us from here on out, like indicating there's nobody else going to be interfering in Just Us. Do you know what I mean? So whatever that's going to mean to you, that like, and obviously with twin flames, it's that when the twin flame has ran as far away from you as possible and got involved with other people, that's how I would take that to me. But anyway, when that song came on last night in Love Island, I was gone. But it was more sad because it was like, it's funny because I spoke about this on the Big Long Hour video that I am planning to put that one out tonight too, but it's just I haven't watched it back yet. So like I said, it might be one I decide to hold back for the membership, the famous membership that I am planning on. I feel like I'm being guided to launch that this weekend, as in publish it. I don't know about launch it, but you know what I mean, publish a level. Um, I'll probably do that tomorrow because the new moon isn't until midnight. So, but yeah, that's always a really emotional night in Love Island because so I'll just channel for this a bit because it'll be meaningful. Um, yeah, because it's when they come back, they either choose the one that they were with or they bring somebody new back. And anybody that brought somebody new back, it wasn't really a big deal with I think there was only, I can't even remember. Yeah, the ones that brought new people back basically wasn't a big shock. But there was one that was like, that's when they put that song on, and it was really sad because it's never nice seeing somebody coming back on their own and they're coming back to find their man sitting with somebody else. I mean, who the fuck wants to walk into that on national television again? These people signed up for that. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's, I always find it really interesting because it's like the stories, the twin flame true life stories that I hear day in day out, and it's also like being a twin flame, the feelings that can come up, and it's there is just so much humiliation involved on this journey. You know what I mean? Of like feeling like you've made an arse of yourself or feeling like the person's made an arse of you and it's just that I just really like to just observe it rather than judge it too much. It's like it's all just part of the journey and it really does make you who you are, a bit like I won't believe me, I wasn't laughing about how drunk I got that time at my pal's wedding. If anything, I was beating myself up, which is quite interesting because that's what I don't know what I wrote last. I think I wrote that in the community tab last night about. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I've beat myself up for weeks about that, and really, like when I actually got the courage to talk to my pal, she was like, "Claire, what the fuck, man? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, you were totally up there with one of the worst, but there was other ones." You know what I mean? And it's just like I said, I can laugh now, but if you only knew the dark place I went into about that. And it's just it's just a prime example of what we can do to ourselves there, and just when like I've got set. Oh God, that's actually made me want to cry a bit. We'll see what I mean. Got to be careful in this Newman cancer, but yeah, it is because cancer's the past and it's memories, and it's I've got Saturn and Scorpio in the first house. So Saturn and Scorpio is pretty rough. You know what I mean? It's like that's why I'm able to help people with boundaries so much. But it's like it's where you can be a bit hard on yourself. And like I said, I was really, really hard on myself with that because it was the combination of everything that was going on. It was quite understandable. And like I said, it's let's just say it wasn't the best time of the month either. If you get what I'm saying. It was oh, I was a trooper. My hormones were fucking all over the place. Anyway, so, yeah, not good memories. But like I said, I can laugh about it now because it was nowhere near as bad as what I was beating myself up about. So perhaps with all that randomness, that's going to resonate for one of you out there, either a divine feminine or more feels like a divine masculine, though, that you might be beating yourself up for all the ins and outs, and that's what I always think about it. It's really interesting that whenever I'm channeling these messages every year, when it gets to that part of Love Island, it is always really in line with what's been coming up. And it's like, I'm just intrigued to see what's going to happen there because although they can really home in on like, like making you think that this guy is like so bad because he'd come back with this other girl, if I can just be brutally honest here, like, I've no idea whether this guy that's basically, he was spending a lot of time with the one girl at the main villa, and then he's went in and he's basically been spending time with someone else, but it did look like there was some kind of instant spark there. You know what I mean? Like, it did look like there was an instant fancying each other, and also a wee bit more. And I did kind of think, I thought, if I'm honest, I haven't actually seen that with the other one. You know what I mean? Like, it was like he was almost so laid back, he was horizontal. And when I looked at their star signs, and it's like the original, so this will be funny if people are lurking, they're watching Love Island, but if not, I'm just explaining this because it always has meaning. Again, I do this every year, so I always just trust it. But I do think privately it's probably quite fun for people that are watching Love Island. They'll either be agreeing or like, I don't agree with you, Claire. But they never put in the comments. It'd be quite fun if you were watching and you got involved. I'm going to be really excited when we get people that are actually watching Love Island to get involved in the comments, because otherwise I have to assume that some are lurking. But they definitely are lurking. There's definitely people that are watching that are lurking. 100% know that. So, but yeah, the girl that's called Mimi, the original one, she's actually a Scorpio, and the guy Ayo is a Leo, right? So right away, so that's not a good match, but I wouldn't put that combination together necessarily. And then, but I mean, you've got to take into account their other placements, which obviously I don't know. And then though, I don't know what that new girl is, but see, it wouldn't really surprise me if she was like a fire sign. I feel like maybe like an Aries or something. I don't know, an Aries or a Leo, or so it'd be like, because it just seems like, I don't know, it seems a bit different. Like, it's like it came to life a little bit. So, but also it was actually when Mimi came back again, it is really sad. Like I say, you just see somebody come back themselves, and it's like, oh no, she's been like loyal, sleeping outside on the bed, not really mixing with other ones, and he's been like, copping a feel and sticking the tongue down the other one's throat. But actually, he was very respectful. He didn't kiss her for a while. So, but anyway, the point is they played that song, which, like I said, is good for evoking emotion. But what I thought was quite nice was the new girl like whispered to him, you're very, very brave for doing that," and I agree. Like, when the whole nation's not the whole nation, but when a lot of the nation is watching at all ages, judging you, and you know, basically making out like you're a cheater, when none of them were in official couples apart from one of them, and that was just that was beautiful. Like, they're so young. I think like they're only like, one of them's 20. I think the guy's 21 and she's like 24 or something, and she's very, very, talk about the shadow side of cancer. That girl is so insecure. It's a shame because she seems lovely, but she's very, very insecure, needing constant reassurance, which is kind of exhausting for a guy. Do you know what I mean? That's why I just wrote that in the written bit. Like, for God's sake, just work on yourself. Like, if like, whether you're a woman or a man, just keep working on yourself, because especially for a man, when a woman is that insecure, it's just it's you know what I mean? It must just be draining. Like, that's one thing that I'm like, bit of a red flag for him, that it's like, but hopefully that they make it last. But anyway, it's nice because they both literally only have eyes for each other, and they'd already said "I love you" before they went into, and it was very genuine because he said it the way he said it. I do agree that it was almost like he was trying to say it under the covers, like it for the mic not to pick it up. Of course, they're going to pick up everything, but that was cute to watch that. Um, and And then, even like I said, I just find it interesting, the people watching, like, because the other guy that I was saying in one of the last videos, that like, oh, because this is the one I haven't watched back yet, that I was like, oh, and I'm right though, because I said this in another video. It's quite funny. You're going to watch this before you've even seen that one, but like, I was like, I think he's going to regret that, and he's going to choose the original one, and he did. Like, he done exactly what I thought he was going to do. Like, he basically had his lad's holiday fun, like kissing her under the covers, copping a feel, kissing her in the fucking tenant, like basically doing everything that's the worst that you could do on that programme. Putting aside sleep, actually, like literally sleep with him. And then he's went and chose the original anyway, when she's the kind of girl that really is like, she's already shown like red flag psycho vibes at the very start of the show, but she's also like giving it the big in, like, well, not I am the prize, that's what the other one does, but you know what I mean, like, nobody treats me that way, which is quite right. Like I said, there is a weird vibe this year of girls that they're saying it, they're saying it, but I'm not really believing it from any of them, really. Sometimes I believe it a little bit more than others, and again, that sounds a bit patronising, but I really do feel that is to do with their age, really. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't fully respect and love myself properly until well, it's hard to put a fucking time on it, really. It's like a couple of years ago. But do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always like really transparent about that. I didn't have any self love when I was a teenager. Like, I was just like, I've yeah, I've said that like when I was hooking up with my twin flame and that, I was just kind of like, why does that tidy guy keep wanting to sleep with me? Like, I just didn't really understand it, but I was like, I'm fucking going with it, man. He's hot. But like, and it's but then when I look back as like a 40-year-old, and I think that's really sad because I had a lot going for me. I was hot too, you know what I mean? And I didn't really look at it like that until I got a bit older and wiser. But so perhaps some of you resonate with that too. But again, you see that as just a very innocent and vulnerable insight into a divine feminine that's now in inner union with confidence. I'm just talking to because there's people coming up the stairs, and unconditional love. Whether I'm feeling my best or not my best, I always give myself. Oh, wait a minute. It's never good when there's a knock at the door and you're not wearing a bra. It was just I had a strapless one on with this jumper because it's got like holy, you know what I mean? It's got like bare shoulders. So I just carefully opened the door. Too much information, but that's me. Anyway, but yeah, you know, it's just an insight into I haven't always been this confident or this accepting of myself. So it is really quite liberating when you get to that point. And like I said, I have been, although I said a couple of years ago, I've been in this place for quite some time. Like really for the past 10 years, I've always been a lot more confident than most of the people around me. Do you know what I mean? Like as in, because I was always doing that inner reflection and inner work. And even just for the fact that, like I said, I had a counsellor for 7 years. Which was now a few years ago. So yeah, that is kind of right. Do you know what I mean? That I was seeing my counsellor from about the age of 30 would have been, yeah. So anyway, a little bit of history there. But so that all came, see how much emotion can be evoked from a memory. That all came about from me mentioning the first James Arthur song, to then bounce to Just Us, to then talking about the wedding. That's they're just showing you how memories work. But anyway, what I really wanted to do this video was SIRIUS, because I always forget every year that the SIRIUS gateway is I think it's from the 2nd to the 7th of July. So that's we're in it until Sunday, right? Which is the 7/7 portal. But again, I honestly, consciously wasn't thinking about that. And now it's quite funny. My eyes are being drawn up to like an astrology circle board thing I've got up there. So that was genuinely me tapping in with my Sirian guides, like the Sirius energy, because that's just very much like ingrained in me. Basically every time I'm channeling a message, I'm working with Sirius energies, Palladian, Arcturian, Andromedan, like bits and bobs, all of them always come in. But what interested me was yesterday, I was like, I'm particularly feeling Sirius energy. And I honestly, consciously wasn't taking that on board at all. What it was just, I've then saw that it is, and I was like, oh yeah. So it's quite amazing. Because it's to do the 14 degrees Cancer, which is actually, I think that's exactly what this new moon is at. So yeah, if you are feeling that you're tapping into your gifts a wee bit stronger right now, or really feeling this shift in consciousness, then that's probably going to have a lot to do with it. So I've got those cards that are a lot to do with that, but also I mean, that's what I'm here doing this every day for. I've been doing it for 9 years this year, is to help wake up humanity. Like I just wrote in the community tab, keep making waves, divine feminine. Cancer's water, and you're making waves. You're not only waking up the divine masculine collective, you're also waking up humanity. So keep doing what you're doing, and divine masculines keep doing what you're doing, because they are rising as well. And yes, you are liked, starseeds. Right, so let's see if the Sirius... Oh, look, what's come out? Wow. I'm sorry. Defenselessness, righting past wrongs and uprooting. So this is a very Cancer new moon vibe, you know. There's a lot of regret. Sorry. And again, I feel like, you know, I've told that story before about how drunk I got at the wedding. Only twice. I mean, or maybe even just the once. Like, and I probably made quite a bit of joke about it. I think I did get serious about it once, but I did, you know what I mean? But it wasn't funny at all. Like, seriously, it was not a good memory at all. But I feel they've got me to say that for, like I said, anybody else that maybe, you know, beats himself up for mistakes that they've made when they've had a drink and stuff. Rapture. Sensuality, love, devotion, romance, ecstasy, pleasure. This is what I'm feeling, you see, because some twin flames are going to be in the vibe of you're going to be guided to spend a lot of time alone, to hermit, to heal, like I said, to have a good grief, have a good cry, then be really kind to yourself, eat some good food, you know, spend time alone or spend time with people that feel like home, you know, like your besties or your family or, oh, we've got all the juicy cards, potential promise, it's about to happen, keep going. That's like when I said keep making waves. And then especially them and them together, actually. If we're looking for thumbnail, these cards are not, they don't show up very well actually on the, but depending on what comes out here. Yeah, basically that's the point, right? That it's like very, very emotional, sensitive, and sensitivity is a beautiful gift. I say that all the time because it's true. You know, just, you know, take care of yourself. And like, please just take that on board about, yeah, if you are having a drink, like, just be aware that it's oh, look at, there's a alignment, flow, right, relationship, harmony. That's what I was just about to say as well, is if you're not in a place of, you know, a lot of trauma coming up, needing a lot of healing, and basically, you know, feeling like I'm not in a good place to be around anyone right now, let alone a twin flame or a karmic or a whatever, a karmic energy. I don't just like saying a karmic. I do feel for those people that you've kind of moved through quite a bit, and it doesn't mean that you might not still find things emotional, absolutely, because it's a very emotional energy. I do feel there's a lot of the right relationships coming together here, harmony, coming together for some romance, ecstasy, pleasure, all that jazz. It's like the things are aligning. Look, the Great Mother, surrender to the mystery, fall into her arms. But I always feel that cards fall into her arms is like about a divine masculine falling into a divine feminine's arms. And change the her if that's not suiting you, but that's what I always get from that card. Like, because Cancer energy, I've said this over the past 2.5 years now, but whenever it is a Cancer moon, that is when I do feel like, sorry, I'm leaning against this table with my jeans on there. I do just, it's always when I want to cuddle. Do you know what I mean? Like, basically, like, there's moons that are going to make you feel like you're feeling yourself. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that would be the Scorpio, the Aries, the Leo. You know, there's moons where it's like, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good, you know, I'm feeling pretty hot, all that kind of, or whatever, you know, however you would word it. And then there's moons where it's like, oh man, I could just like cuddle up and like cuddle the person I love right now, do you know what I mean? And just go to sleep. Like, that's what Cancer moon is. And then, you know, that spooning can turn into forking and all that jazz. But you know what I'm saying? It's not one of the moons that's like, oh yeah, I want to rip your clothes off, and you know, it's like but actually saying that, it could be with the Rapture card, it really could be if like your Cancer energy was like in the 8th house of sacred sex. That would be like combining the sex with the love. I just saw the rest refuel card there too, but you know what I mean, and there's other aspects too, but that's just what springs to mind. So anyway, do you want to tell us a wee bit about this Sirius energy? Oh yeah, and the other thing that was amazing was, you know how I said that big leaf that's on the community tab, that it reminded me when my nieces walked in, that it reminded me of an Egyptian fan. And again, Sirius is connected to not only Egypt, but goddess Isis, who I absolutely work with very closely in all that I do. So that's what I mean about, like, sometimes I don't know, but my soul knows. And that was one of those moments where I'm like, that is so weird when that happens, but it's really cool. And that's what I mean by channeling the energy. I just think it would sometimes take the fun out of it if I'd like totally swatted up and geeked up and like read all this stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, I think that's amazing when other people have done that and they've got that knowledge to hand and they remember it, but that's just not how I operate. I've got loads of books. My mum was even saying to me today, right, if you've got, because I just got a new book, and she was like, well, if you've got a new one, do you want to get rid of some of your old ones? And I was like, no, do you know what I mean? Because it's like, again, it's to do with my Gemini placements. I'm very like I'm telling you, with the internet, when they pull the plug on the internet, I've got loads of things to entertain me. That's all I'm saying. I'm not after that shit, you know what I mean? Make sure that you keep physical books and physical DVDs and that. Don't rely on like Netflix and Prime and whatever else. I was just like, would that go with the internet? But anyway, so what do we need to know about this Sirius energy? Like I said, this was just a random one, but it's always things that need to come out. So, share your voice, come out the cave, persecution expression. So yeah, and that fits with that. They were just pulling my eyes to it as I pulled that. So somebody does want to talk. They want to break the silence. Light body, crystal grid, transmission, activation. And that's what I'm saying, like that is the Sirius energy. There's a huge activation going on this weekend. It's not yet time, things are being woven, and so that could be absolutely about people that are healing in this Cancer energy. But also, like, so either like, look, that can be forgiving yourself and needing to be alone, but that can also be like somebody that's ready to come forward to say sorry. But I always feel that card is about two people apologising to one another. Because with your twin flame, like, putting aside all that, because that's what I was starting to say about Love Island, like, I don't know what the general consensus will be because I'm not on personal social media like that and I'm not that bothered that I'm going to go and look. But I wouldn't be surprised if everyone was like, oh my God, I can't believe that guy's done that. But actually, I'm like, well, no, actually, I think that was the right thing to do. Because if he does end up with the other one, he's not going to regret it. And that's the weird way that I look at that, you know, and don't get me wrong, that wasn't just me that wasn't just like myself coming to that. I think I would come to that conclusion anyway, but it was definitely with certain things that I've went through on this journey, it was definitely from the people from the various different people that I've reached out to for support when, believe me, I fucking needed it. And it's always with me, like, I already know what the person's going to say, because I actually feel we always know what the person's, well, maybe not everyone I work with knows, but because, and with me, because I can really show you what you really can't see, I may be a little bit different in that way, but remember, I have got a lot of Aquarius sort of Uranus placements that is like very surprising, awakening energy. So I'm more somebody that does awaken you to things that you couldn't see before. But there's always stuff that the person did know and I'm just confirming. And that's what I'm saying. Like, even when I do know what's going on, I'll get led to people that'll confirm it back. And basically what I'm saying is I just never forget that, you know, when I really needed to hear, would you rather somebody chose you and they were always wondering about others, or would you rather they went down that road, found out that that's absolutely what they don't want and they're sure about you? And the thing is, if I like always say, I have to sort of bring it back to myself here. If I wasn't a twin flame, I would agree when these girls in Love Island and that are like, well, you should know that you want me from the jump. And that's quite funny because there's a James Arthur song with Kelly Clarkson called The Jump, because I only heard that not that long ago. It came on the Spotify, but so that could be relevant to someone. But with twin flames, like I said, it is complex because you're running from what you most want. So it is like a weird backhanded compliment that it's because this person is like so good to be true that you're like, nah, what's the catch? This is a trick. And, you know, you run from it. And there's a bit of that in both of you. And, you know, it's like, and even like, so, and bear with me, you know, divine feminines might be like, that I wasn't like that. But the thing is, if you really sort of dig deep, I bet you were. Like, you know, like I know definitely for me, it's difficult for me to really comment on it. Because like I said, I met my twin flame when I was really young, and fucking any man and their dog would just say to me, oh, he's a player and he's never going to settle down and, you know, all that. And I'm like, well, who the fuck's asking him to settle down? Keep your fucking nose out. You know what I mean? Fuck off. Like, seriously, I wouldn't actually say that to him, but that's what I was thinking. Every time somebody was trying to, like, seriously, like, tarnish this guy's character, like, you wouldn't fucking believe it. I was like, what in the fuck, man? What the fuck's it got to do with you? Nosy fuck. Do you know what I mean? And seriously, that is symbolic of 100 different people, male and female. But there was always somebody trying to get me to basically hate this guy that I wasn't even in a relationship with, by the way. But obviously now I know what that was all about. So, but the thing, and I don't think I've actually really properly straight, like, I have, but I'm really going in on it now. Like, that is how bad it was. Like, and I always was like, you know, well, yeah, sometimes I'd be able to tell if it was a guy, it's like, okay, you're jealous. If it was a girl, again, wondering, are you jealous? Like, it's, you know, it's actually, yeah, it does always come down to jealousy half the time. But it wouldn't always be jealous, but you know what I mean? There's something. And like I said, I don't mean jealous as in a guy that wanted me or a girl that wanted him, although let's face it, that's absolutely going to be the case for this with a lot of it. But it's sometimes just what I say, it's somebody's jealous that they haven't got what they're seeing with you with that person. And I think about it, if you're not even with them in a couple, that would threaten people even more. Because what about if people are in a couple and they're like, wow, those two have got way more chemistry with each other than we've got, and we're in an actual boyfriend-girlfriend relationship or married, and they're just fucking bumping into each other on a night out and acting like Romeo and Juliet. Do you know what I'm saying? It's quite funny when you say it like that. Like, that's how threatening true twin flames can be. Because I now, you know, being able to stand here saying that at 40, that was the case with me and mine. People saw the sparks flying. And at first they would go along with excitement, and I think as time grew, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, whenever they bump into each other, those sparks are still flying, and they're not even talking to each other. And that's when I think the green-eyed monster can come out, if you know what I mean. Anyway, see, we're digging deep down into the memories because it's the Cancer energy. And I don't like going into my own stuff because then it makes me not want to put it out. But I just carry on because if it's ever too much, I'll just put it on the membership now. But sometimes it feels like it's too much. It's nothing I've not said before. So, but remember, the thing is, if this is what I could see when I was younger, this can be what your twin flame only starts to realise now as they look back on things. So like I said, think about it, if that's what I was getting when I was younger, it has to mirror. But that's what just makes me laugh, because I'm like, what in the fuck have people said about me out there? Because, like, I literally am a hermit. Like, yeah, I'm open and I'm raw and I'm doing something weird, helping people like this and that. So yeah, like I said, I know the things that people could say about me from doing that. And again, jealousy again. But yeah, it'll just be interesting to find out what it is that's been said. 7-star sisters, birth and creations, tapestry, expression. I think that's to do with the Sirius energy. Sisterhood of the Rose, that's the Mary Magdalene energy. Beauty, devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher. And there you see, that was me teaching from my energy. And I'm actually going to get the Isis cards. That, you know, that's the journey that I've been on and still on. Star family, you're a part of a team of souls, calling support, lost lands, soul memories, gifts. You've done this before. Oh my god, this is totally... I mean, obviously these cards are going to come out because that's why I'm using them. But, wait a minute, I'm going to go and get those Isis cards. Right, so I don't know where the Isis ones are, right? But I can have a look in a minute. But look what I just found when I was looking in one of the boxes. I'm sorry, please forgive me. But that's meant to be from Love, Wonder and Spirit. So it absolutely could be that too. But I feel this is still that energy of regret and apology coming in. The Holy Grail. Stop searching the inner quest. And again, this makes sense with what I'm saying. Like, this is when the Divine Masculine's like, what the fuck have I been doing? Like, I already had the Holy Grail and I ran away from it. Like, everything I have is inside of me. And now that I've balanced that energy enough, I can see the Holy Grail. Now that I've aligned my life, what's no longer in alignment with who you truly are. And some people are still in the middle of getting rid of that. And look, the stuff that doesn't resonate in the people play, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. And the thing is, that's what, it really does feel there's a lot of celebration energy coming in, because the reason I know that is because that card's the card that likes to stalk me. And it's quite funny that I was even talking about drinking, and she's in a glass, because it's like I said, like, it's because I know that if I want to just stop drinking completely and never have a drink again, I could, right? But I quite like, just because it's like, do you know what? If I want to allow myself to have a beer, or even like one kind of fun drunken night in the festival, and like I said, like randomly, like if I'm going to an event or something, it's like I said, because I'm not somebody that's like forever going to a wedding or a party or blah blah blah. It's just kind of rare. Then I like to, just kind of, don't be so serious and just have a laugh. And but equally, if I wanted to go to something and not, like, I get to decide. I don't let the pressure of other people around me decide that. And like I've said, it's quite funny that now it's actually the other way. If I'm with my family and I'm like, oh, I'll have a drink, my dad would be like, why are you doing that? Like, you stop drinking. And before, he used to be like, have a drink, have a drink, have a drink. So that's just a really good example of like how people get used to it. If you stand your ground, and they'll actually remind you your own values, which is really quite funny. Considering, you know what I mean, because my dad would be having a drink. Basically, everyone would be having a drink around me, like in my family, when I'm not drinking. So it is, well, obviously not the kids, but what, you're going to blink and they're going to be teenagers and they'll be, they'll be at it too. So I mean, that's kind of weird to even think of, but it's true, So when I'm their older auntie, and they'll be, because I say that, like, there was, actually, when was that? What was I was getting ready for my pal's 40th. Like, not, actually, I'm just trying, oh no, it was on the night of. I was trying to decide what to wear, and I was like, oh, isn't it funny, girls? Like, when you're older, we'll all be able to get ready and go out for a night out. I thought, if I could still dance in heels. But they were like, they loved that chat, do you know what I mean? Because they're only 4 and 6. Like, the wee one always, like, she'll come through, like, giggling, and she'll have, like, my high heels on and stuff, and I'm like, what are you doing? Yesterday, honestly, I've got this blonde wig kicking about from when, this is going to have something to do with this, by the way, it's just hilarious, I'm just going to go with, I've got this long blonde wig kicking about from when I went to a hen do, literally about 20 years ago. I'm not even kidding, right? It was a long time ago, 15, 20 years, something like that. No, maybe 15, 16 years, a long time ago. And then I've got another short dark wig from, I think, when I went to like one of these Gatsby nights or something. So, it's just so funny. I said about it before with my older niece, when I went through to make us breakfast when she stayed one night, and I came through it, and I just came through and she was sitting with that on, and just like, she was sitting, just smiling away, and I was like, oh my God, it was hilarious. And so the weeest one done it yesterday, she came through wearing that wit, and she's just, they're both hilarious. I just, honestly, kids are amazing, man. It's just, and that's the thing, like, see if you are feeling a bit down in the dumps, just, look to the children in your life for the laughter, because they are just wee balls of light, and that's why, like you said, I am very passionate about protecting children. I get very serious about that with the worldly stuff, so that's why I'm very serious about you protecting your inner child. So there we go, Arcturian. Oh yeah, and I did mention that, like I said, Arcturian light code. But like I said, this is energy I'm always bringing. So Arcturian light codes, evolutionary downloads, recalling power, future thinking. I'm having trouble saying evolutionary there as well. And also, if you notice, I'm wearing an electric blue jumper. It's my favourite colour. But I do feel that it's my favourite colour because it's got something to do with my Blu-ray energy. Merkaba activation, transcendence, ascension, you're rising up. Wow, yeah, these are powerful energies. Important information, wounds are healed, recharging. That's what I'm feeling. Like, look, the divine masculines are getting huge crown chakra activations. The dove god is talking to them. Divine connection, holy experiences, miraculous energy. Like, a lot of divine masculines are going to be coming forward with real, holy experiences. You know what I mean? Like, just having like a come to Jesus moment. So I think we'll pull a few more of these, and then, what else do we need to know? I don't know if we had any direct Sirius cards. Anyway, do you want to wow us with some Sirius? Maybe we did get one of them. Energetic sovereignty, absorbing what's not yours, empathic starseeds. So like I said, that if you take on any card, that one's a good one to take on board on the new moon in Cancer. because the sun, moon and Venus are in Cancer. Very empathic energy, so don't take on what's not yours. Cancer moon has a way of carrying the world's pain, which again I absolutely resonate with my Pluto in the 12th house of the collective, but I always say that it feels like, you know, Cancer moon can have that kind of sadness about them, like they've just got the weight of the world on them. So I'm sure you're probably going to resonate with that if you are Cancer moon or you've got a placement that's similar. So just remember to have some fun amongst that. The Great Gathering, it's all coming together, intuitive hits, soul tribe. Kind of reminds me when I've said about my nana used to sit and cry at the telly. And the very fact I've just mentioned my nana is obviously them saying that ancestors are around us at this time, because Cancer is also ancestors. Wait, postpone, pause, say no. I think this is just an energy coming in, because on the shorts for, I don't know whether it's for Saturday, Sunday. I feel like it might have been Monday's one. I actually put pause in the title because I think there was a card that came up that said pause. So I think there is something about, you know, just pausing to take a breath before you move on to the next part of your journey. But like I said, it feels like for some people are ready to move forward. So just see where you're at. Yeah, come to me, because that's always a card I feel about a divine feminine calling in a masculine. Attracting like a rose, receive abundance, desires. Star ancestors, hidden secrets, lost wisdom, look a little deeper. Is this as far as we're going to get to the Egyptian cards? I don't know where they are. I was going to use the Isis ones. Cracked, open, rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. Some people could be in this because it's very emotional energy. So protect your energy as a pool protection. Call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. And again, some of you might need, so again, every time I say some of you need soul retrieval, I can categorically say every single person listening to this needs a soul retrieval of some kind. That's a fact, right? Because there's always something we need soul retrieval with. Like, there's definitely stuff that I need soul retrieval with as well, and that's when I sit and meditate, and then they'll bring it to my attention, and then I journey for myself. And like I said, when I'm guided to get outside help from others, which I'm definitely planning on doing at some point. Like I said, I never say when I'm actually doing it because it's not wise. Well, because I'm in public, but just tune into whether, you know, you might benefit from actually coming to get a soul retrieval from me, you know, because you're watching this, rather than trying to do everything by yourself, because it does have a difference when you get that support from someone. Clarity, a fresh start, positive outlook, your guidance, divinely guided. And look, that's me basically saying, yeah, tune in and see if you're divinely guided. And transformation, things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing, who or what is triggering you, soul family. This is all Cancer energy. Call in your tribe, you don't have to do alone. Wow, look at what I just said. Because that's what it's about. Whenever someone's on a call with me, it's very like galactic, it's very new earth energy. Because anything to do with dolphins is new earth or inner child to me, but whales, wisdom keepers as well, it's very intense. So that's why usually I need a lot of sleep after a session, and so do whoever's been on the call. The crumbling. What are you clinging to? Longing for home, home 6 for stars. That's reminding me of the fallen light of stars that I just posted on the community tab. Seize them intact, seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to light. Yeah, and that's basically what I'm saying is, and then there's another Cancer energy. How can you mother yourself? Oh my god, and now my throat's going a bit funny. The unconsciousness definitely comes to light in a Cancer new moon, because it's the feelings that you push down. So this can be feelings that you pushed down years ago surfacing. Star mother, healing the mother line. Ancestral work, mother line, growing up, healing. So like I said, there can be a lot of Mother Rose. That's 3 mother cards in a row. Returning to each other, compassion, humanity. So yeah, it can be family healing, ancestral healing, but there can also be healing a lot of like dark mother wounds as well as what's coming up. So any kind of not so nice stuff down the family line to do with females in particular, you can be healing. They just pulled me the word archetype when I said that. So like I said, it might not even be directly, you know, like your mother. It could be like her mother or a grandmother, but it's like healing some sort of archetype of maybe a dark mother wound. Fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposites extremes of life. And again, that's very common that I'm helping people with that, because it's just what I help people with all the time. There we go. I can stop now. Sirius energy, bring in harmony and balance. I wasn't just doing it until I got a Sirius card, because look, there's still loads left. It was just, I felt it. Double mission, light worker starseed, serve the world by being you in the sacred union. Oh look, and I just mentioned whale elders. Whale and orca elders, share your song, frequency, sound, diving deep. Beloved within inner and outer relationships. So yeah, that kind of answers that especially if you feel like you've been on a double mission, I definitely know I have. This Sirius energy is bringing the opposites together, and I always feel that looks like a woman that's like a guy's like exhausted in her arms. I'm sure it's maybe a baby, but I always see it's like a guy that's like, I'm fucking knackered, and she's like, sorry, I'll hold you. Because that's what you do for each other. Someone's always going to be feeling, not always, but when you're not at your best, they can help you. And when you're at your best, you can help them. It shouldn't be about gender, you know what I mean? Yeah, Sirius energy, bringing harmony and balance. The sacred union. I think that's the thumbnail. Right, we're trying to get in a new habit, guys, of tidying up as we go. I don't like it. My inner child doesn't like it, but I'm doing it. I'm like, whatever. I'm kind of, wait a minute. So, I'm also wondering what that was that guy just delivered. I don't know if it's books or a book or cards. It's one of the two. I think it might be a card deck. Got things in the Hay House sale, not that I needed to. And like my mum was the other day, like I just basically can't buy anything for the rest of the year. Because I don't need any more cards. Right, what else do we need to know on this very random but very honest channeling? Hope it helped somebody out there. Look at that. Vision of unity. Wow. Focus on the light. And look how it started. You are the light. And what does Claire mean? Bright light. Focus on the light. Right to see. Releasing illusion. Pineal activation. And that is what I help people do. Release illusions. Wow. Where are those cards? Did I put them all? Did I put them all back there? Wait a minute, I'll maybe put that there and see if it comes out again for the fun. I'll find the fun. See what I mean? I think I need a nap. Sleepy. Synchronicity. Look at the colours. Opportunities and divine timing. Open to change, divine outcomes. Yeah, there's going to be a divine outcome, and that's going to be divine unions. So all the people that try to stop them, ask for forgiveness. And not from the people necessarily, just ask for forgiveness for God, because my feeling is, if you were a part of sabotaging a union, chances are the people are not going to want to hear from you. So if you really love people, I would respect boundaries and just ask for forgiveness. Anybody that contributed to emotionally breaking down somebody's spirit, like a divine feminine or a divine masculine, or the people that go one worse and they actually try to sabotage a union. Because that's, they're saying it to me like that because there's divine feminines that have basically been gossiped about, slandered, and fuck knows, all the different sorts of stuff that have been said about all of us. And like I said, half of it, if not fucking all of it, not even being true. Because there are just evil fucks that just make up shit. Or like I said, they get a tiny bit of truth and they twist it and they just, make it something ridiculous. And yeah, and then there's people that also can gossip about divine masculines when they've actually left that part of them behind. But people keep trying to make them seem like they're still in the old energy. So it's like I deal with different sorts of things like this when I'm helping people, and it's just like, get a fucking life. The people that are so fucking bothered about people, get a fucking life, basically, with love. Ways of perils, but it makes you who you are. Liminal space, new energies, trust, time of growth. Yeah, time of growth. It teaches you who you are. Oh my god, I'm gobsmacked. That's definitely, because I wasn't sure if there was a Syrian card in here. Love it. Wow. Syrian emissaries. Dream for the new earth. Time for a magical life. Blessing beyond the soul path. Honour all life. Exchange or joy without karma or sacrifice. Well, wouldn't that be nice, Like a lot of us have not been used to to that. You know, that's totally alien to some people. But that's what we're moving into. A vision of unity, beautiful twin flame unions. And because people are in a strong union, they're then able to help people come into union with themselves and find the right partner. Because not everybody on the planet is twin flames. I mean, I'd like to fucking see half the folk out there that actually go through what true twin flames have went through. Do you know what I mean? You hear what I'm saying? Because even like to be real, I've said it before, but there's even some other twin flames out there, hopefully real ones, that they've not been in the big massive separation that some of the rest of us have been on. And some, you know, and like I've said this before, but I get really passionate about it. It's like, especially when I've not seen it for ages, but I have at least seen it this year and last year, like where people are like assuming that if someone's been in like a big massive 10-year separation or longer, or you know, or like something like that, 8-9 years, whatever, that that's people that are like twiddling their thumbs and no fucking doing the healing and letting somebody come back and fucking sleep with you all the time and codependent. That's not true. You know, like it's so not for everyone. So you shouldn't pigeonhole people like that. And like I said, the people that took on to be separated for that long, it's actually because it's generating all of this love for the collective, so that when these unions come back together, you're going to know about it. These are going to be the high profile unions where people are going to take notice. Universal child. Within a child's eyes lives a universe where innocence is guided by love and trust has no boundaries. Sacred self. You're powerful. Live your life from a place of fullness and honour your wholeness. And that's why these get stopped. Because when you live your life from your inner feminine and masculine, and you're comfortable in your own skin, and then you're matched with your person, like, watch out, world. And I just shuffled and the same card came out. So just get still before that moment comes. In quietness of the moment, you can hear your inner voice more clearly. Because your inner voice is going to be part of your twin flame, as we get the only card that's about that in that deck. Well, there's a lover's card that's quite explicit actually with the couple, and this one. Soul love. The soul is boundless in how it unites with love. Cosmic encounters, soul connections of a higher calling may be stirring. Yeah, because it's this portal. Galactic soul. As your energy vibrates. No, as your energy vibration expands, you remember your galactic family, which is your twin flame. You're a harp of God's heavenly choir, a multi-sensory, highly tuned being. That is the 144. Spirit guides, celestial beings work with you. Trust in the gift of guidance. And that's the divine master. Oh, he's quite. I don't know if he is actually. I don't know if he is my cup of tea. I like the stubble though. I don't always, but I don't know. I suppose he is quite handsome. Apprentice. Inspired learning is the call of the soul in pursuit of self-mastery. Be courageous with your emerging talents. That's the masculines that are. They're fast approaching. They're coming right up behind you, divine feminine. They're learning their shit. They're an ancient soul, and there's that explicit lover card. The ocean of love is unpredictable. Forgive yourself in every moment and open your heart to receive the gift of love. Right, I'm going to call this a day now. So this is a special wee SIRIUS activation, or whatever you want to call it. I think that's the thumbnail, but I think I got one. So yeah, see you later.